Huawei might be leaving the smartphone market very soon. At least this is what Ming-Chi-Kuo has to say when it comes to his forecasts regarding Huawei. Now, if you don't know about Ming-Chi-Kuo, he's a senior analyst and he has predicted many leaks regarding iPhones and even other companies as well. So he's a very well reputed analyst when it comes to leaking something regarding cell phones. Now recently in his latest report, he published that Huawei might soon be calling it quits when it comes to their smartphone business. Now this is a very big deal. You have to understand that recently Huawei actually became the largest smartphone supplier in the entire world, and Huawei is on road to get profits which are always creating new records. Huawei mobile division is one of the businesses that Huawei owns. Huawei is also in the 5G business. They also have cloud computing servers, so Huawei is not a small company. However, when it comes to revenue, their biggest money maker is actually their consumer business, which includes their cell phone devices, their IoT devices, and more importantly, their 5G cell phones, which are recently been crowned as the highest selling 5G cell phones all across the world. Now the problems for Huawei started when they were banned by US from using Google's GMS services, which essentially meant that Huawei phones can no longer support services like Google Play, YouTube and other Google services out of the box. Now it was already very detrimental for any brand that uses Android as their operating system to not have Google Play Store, which is basically the only viable option to download any application when it comes to Android. But Huawei found a workaround to this with their own app gallery. It was not perfect, but there was still something, there was still hope that Huawei could bounce back. But now US is actually going after Huawei even harder by banning Huawei from using technologies like ARM and essentially blocking Huawei from using chipsets which come from ARM technology, which means Huawei can no longer manufacture their current chipsets, and also Huawei cannot use chipsets from companies like Snapdragon and MediaTek, which are other big manufacturers when it comes to ARM chips. Now this is a very big deal for Huawei because they were already lagging when it comes to software, and now their hardware is also going to face this type of problem. However, on the other side, on the optimistic side, Huawei could still bounce back. There are certain options which Huawei can choose. The number one option for Huawei is right now to stockpile as much as future chipsets that they could buy. Now the problem with this one is that if you are talking about the mid-range devices, you could stockpile many chipsets, many processors, because in the mid-range market usually the performance is not that increased. However, when it comes to flagships, you really can't predict what technology will come in future, and you cannot pile up technologies which are currently in the market, because when it comes to flagship devices, we are seeing an year-on-year basic improvement, which means that Huawei can no longer manufacture their flagship devices. Also, another option that Huawei could take is a very political option, and that includes MediaTek. Now, MediaTek is a Chinese company, but they use technology from ARM to manufacture their chipsets. Now, if this whole political situation gets worse, there is a chance that MediaTek would stop obeying US and still supply chips to Huawei under the Chinese pressure. Now, this is again a very political situation, and I cannot comment on something that political because I'm a tech reviewer. But for anyone who loves tech, Huawei was a very great brand, and if Huawei could bounce back, this would be great for competition, because when it comes to hardware, we have seen that Huawei was kicking ass in their smartphone manufacturing units, and we have seen that when it comes to cameras, recently Huawei was the brand that was pushing all the innovation. We saw the night mode from Huawei, then we saw the periscope camera from Huawei. So Huawei was quite in the top league when it comes to innovation. Now we have to see whether they can stay there or whether they have to call it quits. Personally, I'm all for more competition, but this is a situation that is less about technology and more about politics. Now I want to know what are your thoughts and opinions regarding Huawei and in general about this whole ban situation. And if you're new to the channel, do subscribe. I will keep you updated regarding all the things Huawei, and I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, take care. Goodbye.